Liverpool finds new owners. Liverpool continues to seek potential investors after Fenway Sports Group decided to put the club up for sale last month. At the beginning of November, it became public knowledge that the Reds were indeed released. As FSG has owned Liverpool since 2010, it was a bit of a shock that they made such a decision after overseeing the club's return to the top of European football. Jürgen Klopp confirmed that he and his backroom staff were already aware of the FSG's decision. Initial reports were that FSG was launching the club as a full sale, but later reports suggested that the American group was seeking a partial sale of the Anfield outfit rather than a full sale. It is even said that this partial sale was put up for sale in order to create a source for the desired and expected transfer budgets. Not surprisingly, there have been a number of parties linked to Liverpool's potential takeover from around the world. One of the possible investors discussed was the Saudi Qatar consortium. The Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund completed its acquisition of Newcastle United last year, while Qatar Sports Investments has owned Paris Saint-Germain since 2011. However, it was suggested that it would be private investment rather than being financed by the state. Sporting News reported earlier this month that a £3.2 billion initial joint offer in the region has been prepared. However, new reports suggest potential investors from Saudi Arabia and Qatar are also in talks with the owners of Manchester United. Just weeks after FSG confirmed they were looking to sell Liverpool, the Glazer family confirmed they were looking for strategic alternatives to the Red Devils. According to the information, co-owner of Ram Glazer met with potential investors from Saudi Arabia and Qatar during a trip to Doha for the World Cup. A price tag of £6 to £7 billion was discussed. Speaking at the World Cup, Glazer said, "It's not necessarily a sale, it's a process and we're going with the process. So we'll see what happens." After the announcement, some allegations were made that the talks were not progressing positively. It is said that Saudi investors have not found the sporting success of Manchester United enough in the last period, and that they find Anfield more logical because the demanded wage is higher than Liverpool. The global success of the Red Devils hasn't really been good in recent years. However, Liverpool's success in recent seasons has aroused repercussions in the European and world press. In 2018-2019, the Champions League trophy was won, creating a team that consistently tops the Premier League. For this reason, it attracts more attention from Saudi Arabian investors and its cost is more affordable enough to change the route to Anfield in the negotiations. Of course, the acquisition of the club by Saudi Arabian investors may be criticized by some fans, but it can certainly be an exciting start when one imagines that Klopp will be handed a high transfer budget. Liverpool started their first contacts with Sofian Amrabat. According to reports, Liverpool has now started first contacts with Moroccan star Sofian Amrabat. The Fiorentina midfielder is very eager to sign for Anfield. After the outstanding World Cup campaign in Qatar, in which Morocco helped become the first African nation to reach the semi-finals, Amrabat's shares rose significantly, sparking interest from the Reds. A number of Premier League clubs, such as Tottenham, are also interested in the 26-year-old, who plays a leading role in the Middle East under Moroccan coach Walid Regragui. Amrabat was indispensable for his national team in the brilliant World Cup run. Playing more minutes than any of his teammates, he proved to be a tremendous presence in front of his back fours. Famous reporter Rudy Galletti claims that Jürgen Klopp's side is trying to stay ahead of the competition and started in touch with Amrabat. It was added that the midfielder wanted to move to Merseyside, at least according to close sources of his environment. Galletti said, according to sources close to Sofian Amrabat's entourage, the player wants to play for Liverpool. Liverpool started the first contacts with the Fiorentina player. The Reds were heavily criticized for not signing a new man in the middle of the park during most of the summer transfer window. Jürgen Klopp later brought Arthur Melo on loan, but the Brazilian player barely played due to injury. Now, with the January transfer window just around the corner, the Reds' his boss is once again forced to sign a new midfielder and reports have revealed Amrabat is on Klopp's wish list. Nicole believes Moroccan is better than any midfielder at Liverpool. Nicole said, "To Liverpool you look at what they have in the middle of the park, Amrabat above all they have. Look at Naby Keita, he will never do that at Liverpool. Supporting Liverpool's midfield will undoubtedly be a priority for Fenway Sports Group, and while other targets like Enzo Fernandez may cost higher fees, Amrabat may be more reasonable. Reports suggest that Fiorentina asked for £44 million to agree a transfer deal for the player, and that the fee was definitely worth it after Amrabat's brilliant World Cup campaign. The move of the player, called a sensational by professional football player Jamie Smith, to Anfield could be a move to watch next month. Also, unlike other destinations, this transfer will not affect others, because Liverpool needs a big change in midfield. 3 players whose end-of-season contracts are up, and a few players who can't go through an entire season unscathed because of their old age. Given all this, it is clear that Sofian Amrabat will contribute to Liverpool. Also, the price tag seems appropriate for the January signature. Liverpool could make a loan transfer following Diaz's injury. Liverpool may have to sign on loan in January as Luis Diaz prepares to miss another 3 months of action. Former Hibernian forward Tam McManus talked about the Reds' options in the winter window. Diaz suffered a knee injury in Liverpool's 3-2 loss to Arsenal at the Emirates in October and would return with the resumption of the Premier League following the World Cup. The player, who started training with the team, was involved in an unfortunate process. Reports reported that on December 14, the 25-year-old actor suffered a setback and would be out for 3 more months after undergoing knee surgery. After selling Sadio Mane in the summer, McManus claims Liverpool now lacks offensive depth. "I wonder if Liverpool can enter the transfer market now," said McManus. 3 months is a long time to stay without a player like Diaz. You take Diaz off the attack after Mane is gone, your options are a bit limited. We know there will be a lot of games at the end of the season. Liverpool are in Europe too. Can they afford to lose a player for that long? Maybe a loan signing could come back at the end of the season. I don't know how many real quality players there will be on loan, but that's the only solution. I'd be surprised if they don't do something now in January. I think a move is almost certain at this point. They're going to miss Diaz and they'll have a choice. They're going to miss having that body. I think they definitely need one," said. It was really sad that Luis Diaz had such an injury just as he was returning to the team. Klopp has already suffered from injuries since the start of the season, and it's pretty frustrating to come back and lose players again. Liverpool may need to consider a midfielder and an attacker at half-time. However, it seems more logical that this agreement is a rental and offers a short-term solution. We hope there will not be another injury problem like Arthur Melo.